Welcome once again to another edition of the Husky Highlights Show. I'm Tyler Hartung here with Kevin Dowd and Tukney Nguyen inside Husky Stadium after the Huskies' utter shellacking of the Idaho State Bengals 56-0, which featured 680 total yards of offense from the UW and their first 3-0 start since the 2001 season. We got plenty of highlights to show you, so let's get right to them. It was Bishop Sankey's 1-yard run that got the Huskies on the board, and from there they simply could not be stopped. Washington with the early 7-0 lead, and this was just the beginning. The UW's running game was on full display against the Bengals. This time it's Jesse Callier taking it to the outside and into the end zone for 6 more. The Huskies ran through the Idaho State D like Swiss cheese on their way to a whopping 370 rushing yards. After 2 more UW touchdowns made the score 28-0, it was Sean Parker pulling down Justin Arias' pass for the interception to put the Huskies in prime scoring position yet again. The Husky defense looked dominant on the day, finishing with 2 interceptions, 6 sacks, and only allowing 164 total yards. It would only take the Dogs 2 plays to score again after Parker's pick, with Price finding Jadon Mickens for the leaping catch, and then hitting his big tight end ASJ in the end zone for the touchdown. With nearly 13 minutes left in the second quarter, the Huskies had already hung 35 points on the Bengals and would head into the locker room with 42 up on the board. The Bengals, meanwhile, zip, zilch, nada. Siler Miles replaced Price in the second quarter, and here hits freshman John Ross with a quick screen pass, which Ross promptly turns into a 57-yard touchdown for his first career score. Washington 49, Idaho State still looking at a big old goose egg up on the scoreboard. Speaking of first career touchdowns, Deontay Cooper got in on the action with this 4-yard run to bring the score to UW 56, Idaho State, well, you get the picture. From there was nothing left for the Huskies to do but celebrate the shutout victory in their first 3-0 start since 2001. Final score, Huskies 56, Bengals 0. And we're back. Alright guys, so admittedly Idaho State, not the best team in the nation, so it's tough to get that excited about a 56-0 victory. But still, Tukney, through these first 3 non-conference games, what do you think is the biggest takeaway for this Husky football program?
The defense has definitely been encouraging for the Huskies. First 3 games, really great defensive performances, especially considering 2 years ago this defense was historically bad. So first year under Dustin Wilcox got a lot better, and this year they're on the right track again. Conference season is just around the corner, and it's going to be a really big test for the Huskies to see if their defense can handle the Pac-12 offenses.
Now, as we could see by the highlights, the Huskies put a lot of points on the scoreboard today. So much so that many of the starters were pulled before we even reached halftime. But one starter we did see have his best game of the season was tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins. He finished with 5 catches for 62 yards and a touchdown after being challenged by head coach Steve Sarkisian and the UW coaching staff to step up his game.
And I thought Austin did a tremendous job Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of really responding to the challenge about taking his game to the next level, to catch up to where the rest of this team is at. And he really finished off the week in a nice fashion of practice, and in turn it carried right over to the game and made some big plays for us.
Now, amazingly enough, Seferian-Jenkins is only one of 8 Huskies to score a touchdown today. Kevin, what do you think this says about the depth of the program we have here?
Well, I mean, Steve Sarkisian has been saying all season and all offseason that this is the deepest and probably the best team that he's had in his 5 years here. And we've been seeing that against Boise State and against Illinois, but it was really demonstrated, I think, pretty clearly today. We got 4 or 5 running backs out there who looked good. Again, Idaho State is not Oregon, they're not Stanford, but they are a Division I football team. And to have 5 running backs to go out there and do that, to have the John Rosses and the Jadon Mickens and Demoria Stringfellow came in a wide receiver and did some good work. Had entirely second unit playing on defense, I think, for a good chunk of the second half, and they acquitted themselves pretty well. Yeah, definitely a deeper team than we've had here in seasons past, that's for sure.
Alright, so as said before, the Huskies are now 3-0 and non-conference play is officially in their rearview mirror. But next week, Pac-12 play begins with Arizona before facing 3 ranked teams after that. So Kevin, what do you see in this game coming up against the Wildcats?
This will be a great test for the Husky defense. I mean, all off-season, it's kind of built with the spread offense and the up-tempo to better prepare the defense for games like this and against Oregon the next week. So we'll see kind of that in action. Boise State and Illinois, they've given it a little bit of a test, but not quite at this level. And then offensively, I mean, Huskies are averaging nearly 600 yards and 42 points a game. So we'll see if they can even come close to keeping that up against Pac-12 defenses. And if any last couple games are any indication, I think they've got a pretty good chance at definitely putting some points on them. It should be a high-scoring one next week.
And as head coach Sarkisian said in his press conference after the game, the season starts next week for the Huskies with Pac-12 play, starting with Arizona Wildcats coming into town here at Husky Stadium at 4 p.m. Until then, I'm Tyler Hartung here with Kevin Dowd and Tuke Nina Win. We'll see you next week, Husky fans.